Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer with Brandon and Brian. What is
What's
up?
up, guys?
We are going to review episode 7 of Andor. So, just came out this week, this past week, and right off the bat, is it as good? Is it a good continuation of where the last one left off?
I think it is. I mean, this is exactly what it is. It's a continuation. We know what's happening. So now there's consequences to this heist. This great heist and this great show that we saw, there are consequences to this. And we're seeing a lot of stuff that this heist that was, kind of set up. Not everyone knew what was going on. So, I
Yeah.
mean, the two people that really run everything, that have been setting up this whole alliance or this resistance is Luthen and Mon Mothma. Well, Mon Mothma had no idea the heist was going on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what? She had no idea what was going on. So that shock that we saw in episode 6 when she was doing her speech was real shock because she had no clue
That's
what
right.
the hell was going on.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So she wasn't playing them because she's always playing her part. She wasn't playing. She had no. She was like, "What's everyone looking at? What the hell's going on?" Because she had no clue.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm trying to. I have to probably go back and check it out because I don't remember when her and Luthen, whatever his name is, were when they were talking. And she was saying like, because I remember he was like, "We need money, we need money." She's like, "We need money," blah blah blah. But then they start talking in like code a little bit
because her driver was there, right?
Yeah. So I couldn't tell if like she was okay with it or she was like, hold off. So
it seemed like she was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. Well, the first time they met, I thought she was like, "Okay, let's do it." But then now it was like, "Oh wait, did she not mean let's do it?" Like I got to go back and check it out and like see what.
I felt like she was saying, "All right, yes, come up with a plan and we'll figure it out." Yeah, I think Luthen came up with the plan, did all the stuff, set everything in going, and didn't say nothing to her. So she had no clue what the next steps were. Luthen's just doing his own thing, just saying, "All right, I'm doing it."
Yeah, so that was a cool part with it. She had a pretty important role in this episode, because there's the dinner party, which he thought the dinner party was already happened, and she's like, "No, I had to reschedule it," and he's like, "Oh." So all these important people are still got to go to your house.
Be here. Yep.
But it kind of worked out. I think she got another person in. I don't know if I trust him yet though. But
the fact that he was talking about it so openly, saying, "Oh yeah," it's almost like he's a spy.
Also, or he doesn't understand. He doesn't know what's going on. That's what I took it as too.
She was being very coy too. She's saying,
"Yeah,
yes, I'm being, I have two roles. I do understand the resistance and all that stuff." But she wasn't giving all of herself to what's going on. But I feel like she should know better than to with someone who's that high ranking to say even admit anything. I don't know what the hell she was doing.
Yeah, it's asking for trouble. I felt like I'm like,
she's causing trouble, and she's gonna cause trouble for everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, ultimately, we know how it kind of, at least this part of the story ends and stuff like that. And then we go back to the guy who started it all, and the security guard that couldn't leave everything alone and started hunting down Cassian. They kind of go to him. Also, are you surprised they have TVs in Star Wars? Because the mom just had a TV that just popped on and the news started playing. And was like, what?
I thought they have like
holograms or something.
Holograms or something playing. Like, yeah.
So it was just a
help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. Like,
yeah. So that was kind of like interesting. I'm sitting there, I'm like, did the TV just pop on and started talking news? But you just want to punch him. You just want to punch him. And also, like, I feel like him and the lady in the Empire, that's always got that mean mug going on. She just looks like she's about to like dookie like at any moment. Like, she's got that face, just that like she's holding it in. She and him, I think, are gonna find each other. At the end of this, I'm like, huh. I think they're gonna find each other.
Okay, I can
You
see
know,
that.
it's like like evil Nazi love. I don't know. Like, you know, but
Uh, but when a
yeah,
terrible moth meets another moth, they hit the
yeah,
flame together.
yeah. Burn up.
Oh man,
But
what did you
yeah,
think about Luthen ordering
he
Cassian to them to murder Cassian?
it was he. That's the part I didn't understand. Um, because I was trying to figure it all out. I was like, who wants him dead?
It
It
sounded
was
like
like,
Luthen was the one saying because
but
he's the
was
only,
it though?
or was it someone else because he's the only one that could tie Luthen to the heist? Cassian's the only one that could do it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why they want him dead.
That would make sense. That would make sense. But still, I don't know if Luthen. I don't know because so at one point, the chick that was in charge of the heist, I don't know her name, the blonde,
Yeah.
um, she got all dialed up, and I think she was on Coruscant. And we meet another character, another woman who comes and she like sees all the symbols and follows the symbols, and they meet. And they keep talking about like, oh, where is he? Where is he? They never say his name, so it might not be Luthen. It might be somebody else. But
But
they're just like, why isn't he here? Why isn't he here?
who else knows about all the stuff that got set up? And
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying.
Yeah,
Because everyone else from the heist is dead.
yeah, pretty much.
You know, so Luthen's the only one that could have called and said, asked Cassian to be dead, to be murdered. Because he's the only one that could tie it back to him.
Yeah, I don't think so because I think he sees he's valuable. I don't think he wants him dead. I think there's somebody else we don't know yet that they were talking about. You know, maybe somebody above him or parallel, you know, to like his like ranking, you know, in this new rebellion. But I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious, like, cause yeah, they want him dead, but I think Luthen, right? Is that his name? I think he's cool with him. You know, so I don't know.
I hope
Could be
you're right.
wrong. I mean, maybe that
I
kyber
really
crystal
hope.
was just a tracker the whole time. You know, like I don't know.
Just to know where he is. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So
Because it seemed to me like they were doing this on purpose. It was a trajectory. Like, we're using Cassian because he's easy to get rid of. So
yeah,
who's going to care?
like he's already a criminal. He's already a bad guy. Might as well.
Exactly.
That's the thing I don't like a lot about it is how willingly the good guys are willing to kill people.
Yep.
You know, like without any second thought. You know, they're like, well, that's part of a rebellion. You die, you die, you die. You know, it's like,
What do you think about how Cassian? So Cassian gets all this money, right?
well, yeah, his cut.
Yeah, he's cut the money, and he goes and still pays back all the debt. He could have just left.
Yeah, because he's not a bad guy. I mean, he's
In the
done
heart of it,
messed up stuff.
he'll do whatever it takes to live. But in the
Yeah.
heart of it, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's
Yeah.
a good guy overall.
You know, he went back tried to get Harry Potter's aunt, and she said no, which was pretty awesome. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to.
I mean,
Go do
went
my
back.
shit.
No, what that's Marva's. That's basically his mom.
Yeah, it's like adopted kind of
His
mom.
adopted mom.
She saved him.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't know that was Harry Potter's aunt until we watched this episode. My girlfriend's like, "Oh, that's what's her name? I can't think of her name." You know, but
The Digleys or Deasleys or
Dursleys.
Dursleys. Thank you.
yeah, she's the aunt of it. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
Aunt
I see
Petunia.
it. Aunt Petunia. There you go. Yes.
He's like,
Yeah.
you're not the only one that lost a sister. When you lost your mother, I also lost a sister.
Yeah.
You didn't even like your sister. Whatever, lady. As
Yeah,
I like.
but so that was kind of interesting. You know, she's like telling him like, you need to join the Harry Potter nerd. But she was telling Cassian like, you need to join the rebellion. Like, you should join it. Like,
But
if we
she's
don't,
like
then
she's
that-
ready. Like
Yeah.
Cassian was trying to get her to come with him.
Wow.
Like, let's go off planet. Let's go to this beach
Go
world
chill.
and let's do whatever. And she's like, no. After that, seeing this heist, I'm ready to join the rebellion. And he's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? You know, she has no idea that it's him that did all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of an interesting take. I did not expect her to do that, but I think that's what she was saying too. She goes, after the heist, more people are doing it, and the name of the episode is called Announcement. And I forgot the evil chick from the Empire. She was saying like, "Oh, we're playing into the rebels' hands. This is what they want." He goes,
That's
"They wanted
exactly.
to see they want to think it's a robbery. Like they just robbed us." And
So
he
they're
goes,
thinking like, we're going to tighten the strings, and
"Yeah,
so the
they're
only
going
thing you do
hardcore."
when you tighten the strings on everybody is push more people into the resistance.
Yeah,
They don't seem to realize that.
yeah. But Luthen did.
That was Lucy's plan. That was his
Luthen did it, but she's smart. She's smart because she's like, we're doing exactly what they want. And he goes, it's not a robbery. And then her like minion or whatever is like, oh, what is it? She goes, it was an announcement. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. And I told you that last week. That's what Luthen wanted. He goes, yeah, the money's nice, but
yeah, they need money, but more than
we
anything, I need
yeah,
people. Now I
yeah,
need followers that everyone's following and ready, because now the Empire is doing exactly what you want them to do. They're tightening the strings to drive more people into your cause.
yeah, yeah. And then so that leads into the end of the kind of the episode. And then real quick, so this is a part. So he Cassian's on this beach planet, which that music was pretty awesome. And I don't think we ever heard a nice upbeat music like that.
Not in this episode, not in these this show.
Well, and in any of Star Wars. So this had a really cool. So they go to the planet. It's a beach planet. It's all nice, it's like a little paradise, and the music starts playing. It's Star Wars, but it was like club Star Wars. I was digging the music, and I know that's something very silly, but it did put you in the mood. Like, oh, this is like a vacation spot, like people are drinking on the beach and stuff. Yeah, and I'm like, I like that. That was really interesting. Even in the credits, it started with that song again, but then it transformed into the deeper, darker, like seriousness of it. And even something like that, like I caught it, I'm like, oh, that's small, but it was really interesting.
Yeah.
But the music, I was like, okay, plus I had like the baby in my arms, and it was like upbeat, and then like start kicking his little legs for him, like, oh, he's dancing.
Yeah, I can do this.
Yeah. So they get on it, and he changes his name and all that good stuff.
But he keeps on forgetting his name. How you gonna have a name and forget the name like 3 times, like 4 times? Like, what are you doing?
Every time people call you, it was like, it reminds me of like the Simpsons episode.
Like, who's that? Oh,
Yeah.
that's me.
I
Yeah.
think he's talking to you. That was Cassian, basically. So I guess he's going to the market or some shit like that. But then there's these guys start running, and then he just automatically starts freaking out. Well, I'm like, dude, you just need to sit down and chill, or just go back home. Like, if you're freaking out, don't
be out there. Oh,
yeah. So they get there, and he and obviously, which I like, they called it out in this episode, because they do that a lot. It's such a trope where the guy who's running away but doesn't know he's like being followed, he's looking around like every freaking 2 seconds. This sand trooper, a short trooper, calls him out. He's like, hey, you've been looking around a lot, man. What's up with that? And I don't know if you knew, that is Sam Witwer.
No,
that is Star Killer himself. That is the voice. Right away. I was, like, are you a part of it? That was Darth Maul. Right away.
Wow.
Yeah. So the one talking to him, as soon as he said it, I'm like, is that? I'm like, why is this man? His face is never in the damn show. It's like, he's been more characters in Star Wars than like almost any other. Maybe Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill voiced every alien in Star Wars. But yeah. So he was Sam Witwer. So he was in it, but yeah, he kind of starts interrogating him, which was kind of funny. And then he's like, are you part of it? Part of what? Why are you saying that? It was kind of very silly, kind of back and forth, but also very serious. So,
but also because Andor is just not good at relaxing. That's just
not
so bad. Like, dude, you got money, chill.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting, but man, at the end, how do you feel? Well, I don't know how you feel about the beach planet.
Oh, it was fine. I mean, whatever. I have no problem him being there, and I had no problem what was happening. I don't know. Like everyone, it's like being in a prison of your own making. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like he
because
couldn't
he's
be
stuck.
himself. He's all
Yeah,
yeah, he's stuck there,
yeah,
and that's what I kept how I saw it. And he can't go back to that life, and it was just weird. It was just very strange.
yeah. That's kind of interesting because when you run away like that, like, cool, yeah, you're in paradise, but you're stuck there forever.
I was going to bring up something else I can't talk about. I'll talk about it tomorrow. But
Okay.
it's like it's a prison of your own making. Like you could choose your prison, but
Yeah.
it's still a prison, and you can't say anything else.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it like that, but it's very true, you know. And he was constantly looking over his shoulder, like
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be in trouble or something's gonna happen, which wind up getting him in trouble. Is constantly looking over his shoulder, um, but
Well, that the hang thing was just too much, man.
yeah, that was
That
kind
was
of it was silly, but also like kind of like messed
But
up.
for him, for someone to watch your father die by
Oh,
hang,
that
man,
part, that part,
that what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
A
yeah. I
droid,
thought you meant with the droid.
yeah. No,
Because yeah, there's two hang parts.
the
In
fact
this.
that they're going to try to hang him in the same way that I was like, dude, that's too much, man.
Yeah, yeah, that was a lot. I don't know. So I mean, it did get serious with that, and this show, if anything, this show has made at least me really, really hate the Empire. If at
Yeah.
any point in the past, what, 40 years, if any part of you was like, oh, you know, the Empire, they're not too bad. You watch this show, you're like, oh no, they are horrible, 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 horrible. You know, so yeah, yeah.
I
So
agree.
that kind of sucks. Um, but the end. I don't know if you want us to spoil the ending for you, Brandon.
Brandon,
Because I
want
know
to tell
you
you
didn't get
or
to
not tell you?
finish.
All right, all right. Let's talk real quick.
Wait, I'm gonna leave the stream. I'm gonna go grab something.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
All right. Hang on.
All right. Yeah. So when he winds up getting yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he gets arrested, you know, and they start like convicting everybody. Like all this, like people were like
mass conviction, just everybody.
it's just like boom, and it was like running a freaking like credit card, boom, like boom, boom, boom. That's what you get, and it's like no say so at all, no say so at all. I mean, like
hang,
like it's insane. And then they made it, you know, made all the punishments worse. But even yeah, when she said all the list of he did wrong, and he's like, I didn't do any of that, you know. Like they got like property damage because of the droid, I assume, or says something along those lines, like, oh, you made our droid scratch himself. It's like, but as he was choking me, it's like, what? You know, I don't know, because there's a few things, but there was like something that like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, and he's like, I didn't do any of it. And she goes, shut up. Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. Oh, and then she was like, oh, and you went denying of charges as a charge? like that's the whole thing, is like, if you're not in trouble, why'd you run? It was like, because you're chasing me.
Yeah, you had a gun and you were chasing me. This is why I ran.
Yeah, you know, so it's kind of like playing on that, you know, like thing, that, you know, mentality a little bit. But she said like, oh, usually this is only 6 months, but for you, 6 years.
6 years.
And he freaked the fuck out. He freaked out. So, man, it's just like no, and it was like that same day. It seemed like, right? I mean, maybe like an hour later,
had nothing happening. Like he went from paradise to going to prison in like 35 minutes
because he wanted to go to the store. Yeah. So it's that was just kind of like frustrating. It was like, yeah, like no, and yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's
it's aggravating watching it, and you're like, these guys suck.
is this was going to push him towards really joining the rebellion?
Yeah, I think they kind of hinted at it. Where like, oh, because of what the Empire is making their chokehold stronger, it's going to bring more people in. That's literally telling you the story of what's going to happen with Andor.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting punished for something that he didn't do, and very severely. It's going to pull him in even more. So, yeah. So
Does
that's what.
someone have to die for Andor to trust to be able to come back? You know, so like, can the leadership or whoever ordered him to be killed, can they still be around and Andor join willingly?
Good question.
And that's what I
What
think the next episode is going to be about.
he's going to
He
find
finds
out,
us. He's going to find out that someone ordered him to be killed,
and he's going to get more mad.
and it's either him or me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's also and well, before I go into that real quick, anything else? I know we've been going on for a little while.
This is interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I like the show. It wasn't as high action as the last one was, but the information was great. And the setup was amazing.
This
So,
setup, it seems like it's going to set up another big reveal. We're going to have episode 9. So 8
yeah,
is going to be ramped up a little bit more, and then 9 we're going to get this big reveal. So
yeah.
that's going to be good.
Derby, you're not wrong. He goes, cereal, Miami, and pistachios, all canon Star Wars now. Thanks to Disney. Yeah. There's something else that happened in here that was kind of crazy too.
Well, you said televisions.
The TV, yeah, TVs and walls. I was like, okay. So, also, did you catch who his uncle was?
No,
the bad guy from the beginning of the series.
the one who's getting there when the oh, you talking about the dude that was getting choked in New Hope?
Well, I could be wrong. I got to double check it. Like I said, there's some parts that I might have missed, but I thought they said like, oh, when she's talking to him, the mom and the guy, the guy who wants to be a cop but now is not a cop anymore. I can't think of his name. They said like, oh, your uncle Holdor, not Holdor. That's Game of Thrones. Holdo.
Harlow.
I thought, isn't that Laura Dern's character? Is Vice Admiral Haldu? Not Haldu. How the fuck you pronounce it? Right? But
Harlow.
said uncle. Huh?
Harlow, right?
Uncle, yeah,
Or whatever.
Holdor.
Yeah.
Holdor. And I'm like, wait, I heard that name before. Well, I don't know why I can't pronounce it. I'm, have an issue right now. But I'm like, I heard that name before. And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's Laura Dern's character. But it's not her, but it's the same name. So are they related somehow? Are they related somehow? So obviously this show takes in the past. So I wonder, was that like her grandfather or something? Or is it a, yeah, I don't know. Because I believe she was her character was part of it. I don't know. This is the prequels too, or the sequels, so I don't know.
There's so much going on in the prequels, guys.
So that's a shout out. I don't know if when Brandon watches it, keep an ear out for that. Yeah, for that name.
That's definitely an Easter egg that I didn't see.
Because why would you say like, oh, your uncle, but then you add a name to that? Like,
it had to mean something.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that name, and that name sounded so familiar. I thought it said Holdo, and I'm like, oh, wait, what? So I need to go back in.
I'm gonna watch it again too.
Yeah.
This episode, I know we're ending it, but this really felt very Star Warsian. We're starting because they're talking about the Emperor. you're feeling more about what these guys are doing, the Alliance and the Rebels and all the stuff. You feel the Empire, its presence more, and it felt very Star Wars, very New Hope like, understanding where they're coming from.
Yeah. The part, like all the bad guys talking, in their all white kind of room and stuff like that. It felt very prequel Star Warsy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the that kind of stuff. A lot of politics, a lot of that kind of stuff, which I think I've grown to appreciate a little bit more. Rather than when I was a kid, I was like, oh, hey,
this sucks.
It was stupid. But a show like this kind of like wouldn't survive without the prequels, with them playing like all that stuff. So, but it's getting that feeling of Star Wars. Yeah, we're probably not gonna see any Jedi or Sith. There's been rumors forever.
You might see Emperor.
Well, we heard his name, which is cool.
So finally, hear about Palpatine, and like how he played all of us. Yes, he did play all of you guys, you idiots.
But but also I'm not surprised. I'm like, it's the Emperor. I was like, of course, like they would talk about him. It's not like a secret that he's the Emperor. Like he's the guy in charge, So yeah. So but there's been rumors since the show was first announced that Vader was going to be in it, this person was going to be in it, all these people were going to be in it.
I think that's exactly what we're going to get. The last episode, you're going to see Vader at the end.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I would like, but it needs to fit. It needs to make sense and stuff like that. I think that's it for this episode. So, talked about episode 7 of Andor. You subscribe, like, and check us out for the rest of the Andor series and more. We're getting to some more stuff. Tales of the Jedi is coming out soon, so that's gonna be fun, and we're gonna get to all the other TV stuff as well. But cool.
And don't forget, guys, we're doing our 400 subscriber giveaway on Halloween. We're going to be do a raffle. We're going to figure out who's going to win. We have 3 gifts. If you want to know what we're giving away, check our video. It's on our YouTube page. If you guys go to youtube.spoilerkings and slash spoilerkings, you will see it there. It'll be the first video on there. Check it out. It's the 400 subscriber giveaway. Please check it out. I want you guys to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah. And win some good stuff.
Get some good stuff, because we're going to give even better stuff for 500.